Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can find buyers for your next wholesale deal or current wholesale deal you're working on. And my goal in this video is to show you 3 ways, one being free, one having a little bit of cost to it, and one being, a little bit expensive, so that based on where you're at, you can choose either one of these strategies. The first one would probably be best for someone who has a lot of time to invest, but not any money to invest at this point. Second one is a little bit of both. It's not very expensive, but it's also going to take some time. So it's kind of a mixture. And then the last option I'm going to show you is going to be something that is for someone who is either already closing deals or they do have some money that they're willing to invest into a system that will make things easier for you. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is going on Zillow. And I'm just using a property we recently closed, which was here on Whippoorwill Street as an example. And what we're looking for here is I'm going to zoom out slightly. So this was a street, again, we closed the deal on, and I zoomed out to kind of show the surrounding area. And what we're going to do here is click on the sold tab up top. And then we're going to go over to more, and we're going to go in the last, we'll start with 12 months, see how much that cuts it down. Still gives us 55 results, so that's pretty good. So what I did here is I scrolled down to sold in last, and I did 12 months. And then next, what I'm going to do is just kind of click through these listings here. And what we're looking for is properties that were recently flipped. So signs of a flip would be like new kitchen. Like this one looks like it was probably, this might have been a flip actually. If you look at it, it's got, yeah, this might have been a flip. It looks like new vanity in the new shower there. Flooring looks nice, looks super clean. So this was either an occupied property where they took great care of the home, or it could have been a flip. So how we usually determine that is just scroll down here and look at the recently sold data. This one sold in March of this year for 285, and then it sold again for 450. So most likely it's a flip because it was about, what's that, like a 5 or 6 month turnaround there. So this is perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. So what I would do here is I would go to the listing agent, and it already has their phone number right here. So it won't always have their phone number, but sometimes it does. So I would literally just go to the listing agent here, and I would contact them and see if their buyer, or maybe it was them who flipped the home, see if they're looking for another flip in the area. And that's literally all you have to do. Just call them up and let them know you have a deal nearby. You saw that they recently sold one, and see if they're looking for another flip. So that's how it would work on a flipped property. Now, if it's an as-is sale, it would still work. This strategy still works. So I'm just clicking through these listings here. This one looks more of an as-is sale. As you can tell, the kitchen's not updated, bathroom's not updated. Yeah, this is more of an as-is sale. And if you scroll down here, you'll see that it says this home is ready for your renovation. So it's definitely an as-is sale here. So all you would do here is you can contact the listing agent who listed it. But in this case, since it was an as-is sale, not a flip, I would contact this agent. So it shows who they bought the property with. So this was the agent who represented the buyer. So I would literally just contact this agent by copying their name, open up a new tab, and then I would search up their name, and I would search up Durham NC Realtor, since that's the state and the city that this property is in. And as you can see, her information actually popped up right here. She's already got a Google profile. So you would just literally call her up and say something like, hey, I saw you recently represented a buyer in this neighborhood. Does your buyer or do you have any interest in buying another deal? And then you would just pitch them your deal. And again, this property that they bought was over here on Warbler Lane, which is like over here. And our property that we are using for this example is on Whippoorwill Street. So it's kind of the adjacent neighborhood, but very close by. So that's 2 buyers that could potentially be options for this property if you're working on a deal on this street like we are. This was the deal that we sold, for an example, so I'm not clicking on that one. And then these look like townhomes. So what you could also do is deselect here and just choose houses. So that'll filter it to only houses. I can go through a few more examples, but that's pretty much the gist of this first strategy. This one here looks like it was a flip based on the fireplace, new carpets. It was kind of like a semi-flip, it looks like, I guess. They didn't do everything. But we could see if this sold recently. So it sold in June, and it doesn't have the full history here, so I'm not sure if this is a flip. Yeah, I'm not sure on this one. You could still call their agent, but typically it works best if it's either an as-is type home like this that's a fixer-upper, and then you know that this buyer is looking for another fixer-upper, or if it's a buyer who just completed a flip, like this first example I showed you, and then you can contact the listing agent because they recently sold a property either for themselves, they might have flipped it, or they recently sold it for the buyer who did flip it. So that's a good person to contact. So that's pretty much the first strategy. Again, for any flipped properties, obviously you can look at the pictures to tell if it's flipped. You want to contact the listing agent. And then if you find any as is sales nearby, then you want to contact the buyer's agent. And so that's the first strategy. And I'll move on to number 2 now. Okay, so this is the second strategy. This does have a little bit of cost to it, but it's not too expensive. So what I'm going to do is go to PropWire.com. This website's completely free to sign up for. You can just Google PropWire.com, sign up for a free account. And then I'm going to use this zip code, which is the same zip code I used in the first example. And then I'm just going to go over here to lead types. And we can either choose cash buyers or flip properties. For this example, I'm going to choose cash buyers. That's going to filter it down to this. And then I'm going to go over here to more and look at owner filters and years of ownership. I'm going to go from 0 to 1. So I'm looking for people that have owned the property from anywhere from 0 to 1 year. So hopefully they recently bought it within the last year. That cuts it all the way down to 440 results. So I'm looking for obviously current cash buyers that bought recently. And then all I'm going to do here is just click on this. Make sure you select all. And then you click this little icon here. It'll open up this tab. Click download. Download only. Don't skip trace. Download only. And then click download only. Yes. And then you would just click download here. And I'll go through this for the example. And then you click download. It'll go to the activity. If you open up this activity page in PropWire, it shows up all the downloads that you've recently done. And so then all I would do is download this file. I'll wait for it to process real quick. Okay, so now once it's ready, it'll show up here as ready. Just click download. And then we're going to open up a website called directskip.com. If you sign up for this website, it's 100% free to sign up. And if you do sign up as a first-time user, they'll give you 500 free skip trace records. So you don't have to pay for your first 500. So for this list, it would actually work out perfectly because this list was 440. But if your list is a little bit bigger, obviously you'd have to pay for anything over 500. Or if this is not your first time using this website, then you'd have to pay their skip tracing rate, which can vary anywhere from 6 cents up to 12 cents. You can buy in bulk and get a discount with them, or you can just pay, per hit, and then you'll get a little bit more expensive. But either way, what you would do here is click on your files, click on upload, and then we would just drag and drop this file that we got. I would just drag and drop it there, click save. And then we just want to map all of these columns here. So I'm going to do last name. Well, it looks like this one doesn't have last name. So what I would do is put owner one full name in the first name column. And then I would do mailing address. And we're just making sure that this matches up with what's in the spreadsheet. So I'm just clicking through here, mailing zip code. And you could also have someone else on your team do this, virtual assistant or an admin assistant, something like that. That's what I do. Whoops, zip code. And so this is how it would look. Obviously, if it shows up as last name, you would do last name, first name. But since it didn't, I'm just doing full name in the first name column. We would click save here. It would show you a preview of what the data looks like. Excuse me. And then we would just review this, make sure everything looks good, click save. And then we go ahead and pay for it. Or you can get like I said, 500 free skip traces if you sign up for this website. And we go ahead and place the order. And then what they're going to do is skip trace, and they're going to send you back a completed file with all the phone numbers for everybody. And you only get charged if they find the phone number. So if there's someone that they can't find a phone number for, they won't charge you for that record, which is nice. So this is the second option. And again, we just bought all of the flippers that bought a property within the last year in this specific zip code. So then it's 440 of these people. You could vary it down. You could go down and do like a specific neighborhood instead of doing a whole zip code if it's too many people. So like I could go back here and type in the same zip code, 704, and I could find that exact area. Like for example, if this was my area, I could find this area and I could draw a circle around it like this. I could draw, or not a circle, but I could draw like a radius, and then we could do lead types, cash buyers, and then see if there's anyone in here. And let's see how many people are in there. Looks like 100 people. So it's much less than that 440 list. So you could do it this way as well. I think 440 is a good start. And then what you can do once you get all the phone numbers is you can just call those people up. So I would recommend investing in a single line dialer. We use smartphone. So it's SMRT instead of SMART, but SMRT phone. If you Google that, you can sign up for them and sign up with their single line, or they have a triple line dialer as well. I think they actually go up to 4 lines, but you can sign up with just their single line dialer, upload this list, and then you can just dial through, and anyone who answers, it'll connect you, and then you can just talk to them and see if they're still buying property and if they're interested in your deal. And that's pretty much it. You could also text blast them if you want, but it's typically better to just call these people up and start to build relationships with them so that you can sell future deals to them as well. So that's pretty much the second option. You could also do this with a variety of skip tracing websites. You don't have to use direct skip. I just like them because they give you 500 free skips when you sign up. I don't know any other companies that do that, so it's nice because you can kind of test out their data to see if you like it, and then if you do, keep using them. If not, find a different one. We've tried a bunch of different companies over the years, and so far I've liked them the best. So I'm open to switching to a different one, but that's what we use right now. So just wanted to share what's currently working for us. I'll go into the third option for finding buyers next. Okay, so this is the third option. So again, I'm just going to use the same address that we've been working with in this video, if I can spell it right. Let's see. Okay, I did spell it right. So this website's called Investor Base. And so this website kind of does all the heavy lifting that we did in the first two steps. It kind of does all that for you, which is nice. It does have a cost of $250 a month, but I think it's well worth it if you're cranking deals out. If you're brand new, I would start with the first two strategies, but once you start closing deals, I think this is very beneficial to cut down on the time spent to sell your deals so that you can focus on getting more contracts. So what you would do is go on this website, search up the address that you're looking to sell, and then it will populate all these buyers that recently bought in the area, which is awesome. And they have a smart match here. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but you can also sort by buyer type, purchase price, purchase date, square feet, all this stuff. So I would sort by distance because that means distance to your property. So this is the closest one to our property. And the nice thing about this website is for most people, not all people, as you can see, some of these LLCs don't have phone numbers, but for most people, they do have the phone number already ready to go and a possible email as well. So if you see here, there's a possible email for this person as well. And if you go down here, and I'm just looking, there is a fair amount of LLCs here that they don't have information for. So that's where the next step in this process comes up. So for example, I'm going to copy this LLC here, and then I'm going to open up this website called Bizopedia. Now, this also has a cost. It's cheaper than the other one. It's $200 a year as opposed to $250 per month. But this works very well in conjunction with Investor Base or any of the other previous options that I showed you. If you're not going to pay for skip tracing, you can do it this way and kind of skip trace one by one. So what you do is you just search up the LLC name in this website, and then you can sort by state as well to kind of filter this down. Just wait for this to load here, and then you can go back in here and look at all the other ones and call the people that do have phone numbers. But for these LLCs that don't, this is what we do. So I'm just waiting for this to load. This site's being a little bit slow this morning, but it looks like this is the same one here. So that's the LLC we searched for, and it looks like it's the same one here. So then if you click this open, and if you pay for their service, which again is $200 a year, they'll give you the phone number and email address associated with this company. So that way, for all of these phone numbers that Investor Base does not provide you with, you can go ahead and find them yourself and still reach out to those buyers. So like I said, Investor Base does most of the heavy lifting, but they don't find all of the flippers. So for example, like their Smart Match, there's a good number of these people here that do have phone numbers, but again, it looks like a lot of the LLCs don't. So that's what we do when they don't have a phone number, is we'll just use a website that's called Bizopedia, search up the entity name here, and then hopefully they'll have a phone number and or an email for the person. And they also have the person's name right here, so you can reach out to them, see if they're interested in buying your deal. And another cool thing about this is you can download all the results and put them in a dialer, like I mentioned before, or text them all, very easily. If you just download all the results here, it would include the phone numbers. And then another cool thing you can do is sort by single family, multifamily, condos, like whatever type of property yours is. And then they also classify by flippers and landlords. So if you see this blue icon, that's a flipper. And if you see this yellow key, then green key, not yellow, then that's the landlord. So then you can classify who's looking for buy and hold versus flipping properties. Obviously reach out to both of them, but it's kind of nice to have that as well. And then you can do a radius here, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, and a search period. The shortest is 1 year, which means they bought the property within the last year. all the way up to within the last 10 years. So typically we just use 2 miles, like the presets that they have. So 2 miles, 1 year, all properties and flippers and landlords. So that's how to use this one. It's very simple. It saves you a bunch of time. And they also have like a mini CRM built in where you can kind of take notes and stuff. As you can see, if I click on this, you can easily take notes like this buyer is interested. And then you could filter them and put them in a status here: interested, assigned, which means maybe sold the deal to them, not interested, or wrong number. So that's kind of nice too. You can keep your notes right here within the system. And again, this is $250 a month. But if you sign up for them, I think your first month you get $100 off. So I'll leave a link below if anyone wants to sign up. This Visipedia website is $200 per year. So that comes out to like less than $20 a month. But these are in conjunction, are very powerful for finding all of the current active buyers. And these are legit buyers. They've confirmed they've bought all these properties, and there's also a Zillow link so that you can confirm for yourself if they actually bought these properties. And for this one, obviously we can see this person bought it and flipped it, and that's definitely a real buyer. So this is a third option. Again, if you have kind of more money to invest, a little bit less time that you want to spend on it, this is what I would recommend. So hopefully that's helpful.